you gave that person a 0, sales guy, service writer, there's a good chance he was fired shortly after that survey. Thanks for tuning in to yet another video. We are out here enjoying beautiful San Jose. You know what? I already spoke about quite a bit about the dealership, and before I was really interrupted, I wanted to go ahead and inform you guys about the final part of the buying experience. And this is the most crucial part for the dealership, not for you, but for the dealership. Okay, and a lot of people don't know that the stupid surveys that you'll probably getting in the mail, or you'll probably get by email. Most of them do it by email now. These are really crucial for the dealerships. They're big time important. I remember when I was at the dealership, a coworker of mine was telling me about how he got screwed over by a customer. They had the perfect transaction, you know, everything was going smooth. They had a good understanding about everything. They didn't screw him over or anything. He got a good deal on his vehicle purchase, and he ended up losing his whole commission for the month. That's right. This is how important these surveys are for the dealerships. He lost his whole commission of the month, and he was telling me he called the customer. He called him and he was like, "Hey, what happened? You gave me a 0 on the survey. What the fuck?" And the customer was kind of like, "Oh shit, man! I didn't know that those things were important. I honestly believe," you know, the customer was telling my coworker, "I honestly believe those surveys were a joke." And he gave him a 0 on everything, on all the questions, you know, satisfaction, the knowledge, everything. If you've seen these surveys, would you recommend? Would you, 0, 0, 0. Would not recommend, everything. Gave him a big fat donut, a big 0. And as I mentioned, he lost his whole commission for the whole month. He told him, like, "Shit, dude, I wish your car breaks down on you." And he just sold him the vehicle, and he's like, "Man, I wish your car breaks down." You know, he was really upset. And as a service writer, we also get those surveys. And you know what? A lot of people believe the customer's always right, but what happened is, a lot of the times, they're promised services, they're promised a whole lot of different special treatments because they have a service maintenance package, or they have an extended warranty, and they're expecting to get VIP treatment because they already paid up front for the maintenance. And as I mentioned, a lot of the times these customers believe that they have stuff that should be given to them. But let's get back into the surveys. Okay, I'm kind of going off a little bit. So yes, these surveys have big repercussions on the dealership. If they get a 0, as I mentioned, the managers, the service managers, the sales managers, the general manager himself, he's gonna lose a percentage of his bonus. And if your boss is losing commission or a bonus, you sure as are gonna lose yours. You're losing your commission, you're losing your bonus. So as I was saying, he lost his whole commission for the whole month. And honestly, out here in the Bay Area in San Jose, California, the price of living is really high. So a lot of us would depend on that bonus, on that commission to kind of get us by. As I was saying, you could get 1 0 depending on the dealership. My dealer, I believe, if you got 3 zeros, you're done. You're out the door. You're fired if you get 3 zeros. And as a service writer, basically it's almost the same rules. The same rules apply. Anything below 80%, you're going to be losing 20% of your commission, and anything lower than 70%, you're definitely going to be losing about 40% of your commission. And if you get a 0, you're losing all your commission, period. Now, I remember working for the service department. Like I said, we would get tough customers. We would get people that believed were owed additional services, and that was our job, was to upsell. Almost any business, you always have to upsell, and a lot of the upselling wasn't even covered on the plans. When you buy these service maintenance contracts, it's the basic oil change. All right, so if you're at 60,000, 90,000 miles and you need a transmission service, sometimes these maintenance packages, they wouldn't include the transmission, or they wouldn't include let's say coolant or anything like that. Like I had mentioned, these are your basic plan services. And of course, you go to a dealership, you're paying $3,000, $4,000 for your maintenance plan. Of course you'll be upset. And what are you gonna do? You get a survey, you're gonna give that person, that person had nothing to do with you and the finance or anything like that. He had nothing to do with that, but because you were promised something 2 years ago, of course you're gonna take it out on the service writer. We could improve our chances by not getting a 0 or 40 or 60% survey and lose about 40% of our commission. So what we would do, if we got a bad customer, we would alter the address. We would change it, and then about a month or two, we would leave little sticky notes, leave a little self note, change the address back, and that's what we would do. And most of the times, I can tell you from experience, we got lucky a lot of the times, because we would use each other's addresses. The mechanics, the porters, the other service writers, we would use one another's address to intercept the survey, and it helped out a lot. A lot of the times it did. We avoided bad surveys by changing customers' addresses. And I know this is something that's probably frowned upon. A lot of people probably won't like hearing about this, but this is how we avoided getting bad surveys. And from my knowledge, I don't even think the service managers, they probably had an idea, but they never told us not to do it. You know what I'm saying? After you're finished buying the bike, the dealer, the sales guy, the finance guy, they're all gonna remind you, hey, take that survey for us, give us a good score. And they want you to take it as soon as you leave the dealership. They want you to give them a good review. And what happens a lot of the times, a lot of the times, people are in a honeymoon phase. They bought a brand new bike or a brand new car, and they're happy with the purchase. They're in a trance with the new purchase. They're enjoying the bike, and the last thing the dealer wants you to do is to come out of your honeymoon phase and start realizing the numbers, or start having buyer's remorse or anything like that. So they want you to take that. If they could, they would make you take the survey right there at the dealership. Like I said, what they want you to do is give them a good survey, give them 100% of recommended, will recommend, all this other stuff, because like I said, they get their full commission if they have happy customers. And a lot of the times, as you've seen in my video, sometimes customers aren't happy. And I know there's a lot of other ways to complain about a dealership and do complaints, but the survey, the manufacturer survey, is by far the number one way to send a message with these dealerships. These dealer surveys are a whole lot more effective than an angry letter to the manufacturer. This hits the dealers exactly where it hurts, and that's in their pockets. All right, so you give out a bad survey, or even worse, a 0, somebody's gonna find out about it, and somebody's gonna hear about it, honestly. So if you ever had a bad experience and you got one of those surveys and you filled it out, you know, correctly, or you filled it out honestly and you weren't happy about the service, I could tell you right now, the service writer felt that in his pocket. The service manager, you know, probably spoke to that service writer, or, you know, that sales guy, depending on which one you're talking about or which one we're talking about. And as I mentioned, if this was a multiple offender with, you know, even 3 zeros, you gave that person a 0, sales guy, service writer, there's a good chance he was fired shortly after that survey that you turned in. So yeah, I mean, this is what affects them the most. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. If you guys like motorcycle content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I just want to say thanks for hitting that subscribe button for all you new followers, subscribers. Thanks, right? You guys stay out there safe, ride safe. Later.